next speaker is a great friend of mine, and yes, I invited him, but he also did submit a proposal, so thank you. But Tim Petruski is from Berlin, yeah? No, from Germany.
No,
He's a German. But the cool thing about Tim is he laughs a lot for everything. You know, see, look at him. Look at him. I said nothing. You know, there's this joke about Germans by non-Germans, the Austrians. They say this. They say when a German hears something funny, they run home and hide in their basement and then laugh. You know, that's what they say. But he's an exception. Tim Petruski is so great. He works over at RunPod, but I don't think he's going to talk to us about RunPod today. He might, but he built an awesome product. He showed. I was lucky to get a preview. It is exactly what this says. You can run AI in the browser using Web GPU, and it's just so cool because it's fully local. Anyway, I'm not going to spoiler it. Please give a big encouragement, a big round of applause, Tim Petruski.
Thank you very much. Yes, very nice introduction. I think I will also do the same thing and do a selfie first. So please, crowd, be responsive. Woo! Awesome, thank you. Yeah, so in my talk today, I want to talk about how everyone can use AI. Oh, sorry, in the I actually connected this to the power, so I thought it will not. Anyway, to use AI in the browser so that we can actually democratize it and are not bound to any kind of big players or platforms. But speaking of a big player or platform, I'm Tim Petruski and I'm working at RunPod. And RunPod is a GPU cloud provider. And we...
Tim, sorry, I have to interrupt you. I'm really sorry, everybody, but
No problem.
the screen share is not on the live stream.
Wait a second. Da, da, da. Oh, yeah.
He didn't even give it permission.
No, I was sitting aside. Yes, just to...
You have it?
Is it fine now?
You've got, can I? May I? Whoa, where's your...
Oh, no, it's gone again. Sorry.
Sorry, everybody. Give him some support. What are you just...
Yeah. So what am I doing wrong here?
Let's just end the call. Refresh.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, let's start over. You got it now, Mikhail?
Share again.
Entire screen, yeah?
Yes.
All right. Sorry about... Oh,
No problem. No problem.
All right. Hey, thank you. Give it up.
Okay, sorry for this. Yeah, this is some company policy. I think like when I'm not touching this thing, it will just turn on the lightsaber, not the screensaver. Anyway, so my name is Tim. I'm working at RunPod, and in my role as a DX engineer, which stands for developer experience, I'm helping our customers, which are basically developers, to use our platform. And in this role, I'm building kind of demo applications and producing material so the people understand how the platform works. And RunPod itself, like I said, is renting out GPUs, and these can be used for training models, fine-tuning models, or running inference. So like providing an API when you have a model, and you can integrate this into your application. And yeah, but I will not talk about this at RunPod, but I want to talk about a transformer revolution. So in 2017, there was a paper coming out, which was called Attention is All You Need. And this introduced the transformers architecture. And this is very important because like all of the large language models, or the most large language models that we have today, are exist because of this paper. And this made it possible that the models could grow in size and in parameters, which was not possible before, and they could also have more like attention to the context. So you could increase the context, and the model would actually understand and know, okay, like there was some text at the beginning, I can reference this and create some kind of output. And foundational models like GPT are actually built on transformers. And then in 2018, Transformers was released like a Python library from Hugging Face, and Hugging Face is like the GitHub of machine learning. They host all of the open source models that exist today. They also provide APIs and a lot of open source work. So their mission is actually to democratize AI so that everyone can use this for whatever purpose they want and be open source. And Transformers is one of the libraries that they have, and this is a Python library where you can see the code here on the right, where you load some kind of pipeline. Then you say which kind of task you want to do. In this case, it's a sentiment analysis. And then you put your input inside. For in this case, it's like I love transformers. And then this kind of pipeline tells you if the text is positive based on a score. And this is just like one very basic example. You could imagine, you could also do this for text generation or actually analyzing an image and like finding out what is part of this image. So transformers was a very important step in the open source world, which because it enabled people to actually build on top of the models that existed. Then in 2017, or like in 2017, there was another project that was released, which is called ONNX, like the Open Neural Network Exchange. And this is a project that made it possible that the models can be exchanged into different kind of devices and formats. So it was not bound to like you trained it in this framework or you run it in another framework and you could not exchange these things or you could not run this on different kind of devices. And they made it possible to create like an interchangeable format that you can convert your model to, and then you can run it on any device. And in 2021, they also introduced the ONNX Runtime Web, which made it possible to run models directly in the browser. And they are using WebAssembly for this, generally to run that stuff, and WASM for CPU. And they also, I'm not sure like when actually was this released, but they have support for web GPU. So you can, your browser via JavaScript can connect to the GPU that is running on your computer and use this GPU to actually do the inference. Yeah, and this made so much more stuff possible. And then in March 2023, there was another project created, first a community project, but then Hugging Face hired this person to actually work on this full time, called Transformers.js. And this is a library that has a like very similar API to Transformers, but is running in JavaScript. And you can see if you compare the code from before, it's actually using the same kind of like pipeline. You can put the task that you want to do. For in this example, is the sentiment analysis here, and you get also this kind of score. So the goal of this project, which is still like in development and has a lot of stars on GitHub, is to create something that looks and feels very similar to what you have in Python. And to give you some idea on how this works, I will show you one of their demos. So we talked about DeepSeek before, and this is like a 1.5 billion parameters, a distilled version based on Qwen, which has reasoning. So what you can do is always you have to load the model. And because I did this already in my browser cache this model, I don't need to download this again, but I have to load this in memory. And WebGPU works on the Mac that I have here. It works also on Windows, so it actually has connection to your GPU, and but only on Chrome. It's very sad that the other browsers don't have this. For example, Firefox, they have this behind the flag, but in Chrome it's just enabled, so everyone can just use this. So if you are running anything else that is not Chromium based, then you have to enable a flag to actually use WebGPU. But you always have to fall back for CPU, but CPU is way not slower. Yes, not smaller, but slower. So we have our example here, and I guess I will just put the microphone here because now I'm just showing more examples. Okay. So if you haven't played with a reasoning model yet, so basically you can write whatever you want, and it will actually think before it generates an output for you. So what we can do here is, hello, what's up with you? Which is like something where it doesn't actually does any reasoning, because like it says, okay, I'm just a virtual assistant. I don't have any feelings, but I'm here and ready to help you with whatever you need. So we need to tell it something that actually will force it to think about what we're doing. So a nice thing that everyone is always doing in these kind of reasoning models is how many R's are in strawberry. Yeah, I mean, this model is nice. Sometimes it really understands it, but sometimes it like produces a very strange outcome. But we will see. Oh, it's not doing the reasoning. I'm not sure why. Anyway, so maybe I can. What could be? Yeah. Why are you not thinking about what I'm asking? Ah, okay. I'm an AI, so I don't have feelings, but I'm designed to help you. Questions about any. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, yeah. So like, I'm not sure why it's doesn't want to do what I want, but I have a demo later that will show this reasoning capabilities. But I mean, this was not the point of this demo. The point was that you can, like, all of this is running in the browser. The model is downloaded from Hugging Face. It's in the cache of the browser. It's using web GPU connected directly to the GPU on my computer, and nothing leaves my system. The only thing that I'm doing as like online is I'm downloading the model. And you could also download the model to your computer and specify this path when you are actually doing that. But this is the interesting thing here. And to give you an example that hopefully just works, we can also do background removal as one of the tasks. So I have a picture here of me that you have seen on the second slide, and it tries to remove the background. And yeah. This model? Oh, wait a second. I think this model is just not very weird. Yeah, this one, like I'm always using the most quantized version, which means like it has less, anyway, it doesn't matter what it means, but it's like smaller in size, and like you see like this 88 megabytes of for this model, and the DeepSeek one is 1.3 gigabytes. This is the largest model I have played with yet. And the limit for this stuff in the browser is like 2 gigabytes right now, but there's also like an issue open at Transformers.js where they want to extend this, because like ONNX runtime web supports bigger models, but Transformers.js not. Okay, so this is all super nice, but there's like a barrier for web developers who haven't used transformers in Python yet. So I think like if you're coming from transformers on the Python world, then you like the syntax and you understand maybe what the pipeline is. But if you're coming from the web world and maybe also have used nice APIs, for example, the AI SDK from Vercel, then yeah, you pipeline and like finding out what the kind of stuff you want to do is like very hard and like not yeah, makes no sense. And like finding compatible models is also very trial and error, because you have to go onto the hub and go into models. So this is the Hugging Face website, and then you can choose Transformers.js here, and then you say, for example, I want to do text generation, which is this one. And then you see like there are 323 models that are converted in this ONNX formats and are supposed to work, but most of them are not working. So that is also very annoying that there are some problems that you don't know. And if you just want to use this, it's like annoying to find out what is working, what's not. And then what they also recommend is that you use a web worker to actually run the inference in the browser, because like if you are doing this in the main thread, it will block your whole application because it's just like too intense from the computing. And so you have to manually build this yourself. And then they also don't have any device management automatically. So if you choose web GPU and it's not supported, they will not automatically fall back to CPU, which is also annoying that you have to do this yourself. And this is why I created Wandler. And Wandler is like just the direct translation from Transformers in German. So Transformer actually means Wandler. And because yeah, anyway, so like I like easy names, and I always wanted to have a project that is just like a German word. And yeah, this was the best the best thing to do. And it's very short, yes. I mean, it's still not, it's Mm. Yeah, and everything is AI generated, of course. The logo, the picture here, and also the slides. I did the slides when I came here on the train ride from Frankfurt Main. So 4 hours, I generated the talk and the slides because like the last 2 weeks, I was only working on this library and like did not have time to actually work on the talk. So be in mind that this is not very polished here. And I want to talk about like the API now from Wandler. So instead of what you saw before with the pipeline, and you have to like you're actually not sure what is happening behind the curtain, you get like the first thing you need to do is like actually load the model, and this is happening in the web worker automatically. So if you just do load model here, and define the model that you want, which is like the name of the organization and the model itself from Hugging Face, then it will download the model inside of a web worker and uh, expose the model and everything that you can do with the model inside of a web worker, so you don't have to worry about this yourself. It will also detect the capabilities, which means like some models not only can generate text, but some can read like images or generate images or audio or whatsoever. And some models can do everything at the same time. And this will make sure that you don't have to worry about like finding out what the model can do. It will just find it out for you. And yeah, sorry, I have not a polished demo here, just like my test stuff. So yeah, so like this is the like when I'm actually developing something, I'm always creating these kind of test pages where just one function is like executed, so I can put this into end-to-end tests with Playwright, and then it clicks and makes sure that everything is fine all the time. And so what you can see here, we have like a model that is like another one. This is like a coda model, a 0.5 billion parameters one, and instruct means that it can like talk with you. It understands chat messages. So what we can do here, let's open this here. Let's make this bigger. And click on load model. And because I already downloaded it, you saw it like for 2 seconds. There's like an information on that is downloading the model, and then it also shows you a lot of information about like the model. I mean, I guess it's not important for anyone, but like if you are using this, and I still have this debug stuff in the library because it's an alpha version, and everything like this is also what I wrote on the website. You see here, this is an alpha release. Expect everything to be totally broken, and this is why I like still have the debug stuff inside. So if anyone actually fancies it to use this, and then I have all the information if something's not working, why this is the case. Yeah, you can always ignore these two things. These are like errors coming from ONNX, which have no influence on anything, and they're trying to fix this. But anyway, so like load model will actually load the model and also the configuration from Hugging Face, and then you can see stuff here, which usually makes no sense if you have not touched with any models directly for anyone. But for me, it's just nice to see like, okay, what are the capabilities? What are like certain parameters doing? So, and basically this is just for my E2E tests. Yes, so that's load model. And if you have loaded the model, you want to generate some text. And for this, we have generate text. And exactly like you would do this in the AI SDK from Vercel, you can add the model into generate text. You can specify some messages, and this is how you usually interact with an LLM, that you have some messages, or like if you this mimics a chat. So you have some messages that you would exchange with an LLM. In this case, I only have a message called a role called user, which is like myself, and the content, which is hey, what's up? And this model specifically doesn't recognize system prompts. This is why I don't have this here, but yeah, it doesn't matter. And yeah, let's take a look at a demo that hopefully will reason. What's up with you, bird face? So I'm not sure like why it triggers this, but like in my testing, it was like I was always doing like something weird and then adding bird face to it, and then it was always reasoning why I call it bird face, and sometimes it was like very, yeah, intense. And I mean, it's not like like it's not offending or anything. Oh, that's. Let's take a look at this is actually doing the reasoning. Yeah, and you can also see, because this is generate text, it will generate everything. And when it's done generating, then it will provide you the result. It seems like the user may be confused or making a typo. Here are the key points. And then it does something, and I think it's still not doing. Okay, so yeah, you see the reasoning over here. I'm not sure why I'm not showing this here. Okay, the reasoning was, okay, so I'm trying to figure out why the user mentioned bird face. Oh, why is it so broken? Can I? Wait a second. No, I mean the output here. We're just doing it over here. No, it's not. I hate it so much. It's not like breaking the lines. Anyway, so I'm trying to figure out why the user mentioned bird face twice and said it wasn't that what they wanted. Maybe. Oh, sorry. Yeah, please zoom in. And then this has to go. What they wanted. Maybe they're confused or making a typo. Let's break it down. First, bird face could refer to two things. One is the type of a face mask made from bird feathers, often used in fashion or as a temporary item for people who can't get proper face coverings. Okay, what's the other possibility? The other possibility is that bird face might be a typo or something else, like bald face, which refers to someone with a bald head. Though that doesn't make much sense in this context. Yeah, of course, yeah. And yeah, so this is the kind of reasoning. So the model tries to think about what the user is providing first, and then actually providing an answer. And this was why DeepSeek R1 was such a big thing, like in December 2024, because all of the other models did not do this in this kind of fashion, because and the model was just capable of doing this like as one of the steps when it's actually generating response for the user. And because it came out of China, which and they have like limited capabilities of GPUs, and they still created a model that was better than any of the other models that were closed source in any kind of benchmark. And this is because of reasoning. And they also released like this small model that I'm using here right now, because they just distilled like a lot of questions and answers that they generated with the good large model, and created the data set, and then fine-tuned the Gwen model. And yeah, I'm sorry, this is not correct. Going back to the real thing. Yeah. So this is generate text. You can generate text with this. Let's take a look. And then the thing that you're usually seeing, for example, in any kind of chat application is streaming. So in this case, we are creating a stream text, which means that it will like not wait until the full output is generated, but stream token by token when they are like generated. And you don't have to wait for something to arrive. And in this example, we are using a text stream, which means that it will just stream the text without like cutting the pieces of information into like different kind of chunks. And this means like if you have a reasoning model, then you would get like reasoning chunks, and if you and the normal chunks that will be presented for the user, like the output that the LLM is generating, would be actually text chunks. But if you're using a text stream, then you don't have this. You get everything on your own. And then I guess, yeah, I should have checked cursor generated. So this is wrong. I'm not sure why this is in the slide. This was the last change I did before, actually, when I was sitting here and listening to Tejas and what he was talking about. And I thought that some of the examples were not correct. So I said, okay, please fix the examples, but this is wrong. So please ignore this. Uh, yeah, your talk was awesome. I can do multitasking. So now let's do this again, and hopefully we will just say bird face, and hopefully it will actually stream the yeah. So I'm not okay. It again doesn't show the reasoning. I'm really why it actually has no reasoning. But anyway, so you see here also this is the messages array that we sent in the beginning. We were sending user, and what we're getting back in our result is actually the full message history, which is now also assistant, because assistant is the LLM that actually talked with you and produced an outcome, and you have this information too. So you could imagine that you can build a chat with this, and the larger the context size of the LLM is, the more messages you can put into this context, and the better it can answer stuff or reference stuff that you told it at the start of the conversation. And I try this again and have something else. We are in Berlin 2025. No, we just do something very off. Berlin 2033, and everyone is a bird face. Okay, now you see there's also some reasoning. It actually thinks about what we're doing. First, we are in Berlin. That sounds like a metaphor or setup for a future scenario. Yes, exactly. So maybe there's a typo here. Perhaps they meant 21 instead of yes. Oh yeah, and now bird faces are resonant frequencies often use the symbols of danger or danger avoidance. Okay, and what is the answer then? Yeah, a phrase, we are in Berlin. Okay, so now you actually see the output here, and we can open this again. And there's just two messages inside, yeah, because this is not implementing the chat properly. I mean, this is a test. I want. The purpose of this was just for me testing stuff. I didn't want it to show this here, but as I was doing the integration or the end-to-end test took me 3 days, because everything, every time I was testing something, one of these functions, something else broke completely, so I had to rewrite a lot of stuff. Or Cursor and Claude 3.7 Sonnet was doing this, but anyway.
Why go to use jest?
I don't want to mock anything. I just want to see the real output as users would. Yeah.
Replace jest with anything else.
What do you mean, replace jest with
the test framework?
okay. Yeah, I'm sorry, I cannot do jokes when I'm showing my demos that are failing. So, yeah, I'm German, exactly. I cannot only laugh, but I don't understand any jokes. Okay, so this is an open source project. Everyone can build anything they want with this. I mean, this is built on Transformers.js. But the next things I'm actually working on right now are a React hook called useChat. This is also something coming from the AI SDK from Vercel, where you can just use this in your React applications and have a full functionally chat where you don't have to worry about the message history or which messages come first. And yeah, so it will just do all of this for you. Then another thing that I'm working on right now at the same time is a marketplace where you can find all of the models that actually working, and you and I have also tests for making sure that the models that I have selected are working, and if they're not working, then this is visible, meaning that sometimes there's an update of Transformers.js or ONNX runtime, and some of the models are breaking, and this is very horrible developer experience from my point of view, and the marketplace should take care of this, so that you have a source of truth where you can go and see, okay, this is working, I can use this with this kind of version, and I'm fine. And of course, auto-generated docs, which is not so interesting. And the next kind of functions is generate image, where you can generate an image in the browser. and generate audio where you have text to speech and speech to text. And all of this is already existing in Transformers.js. I'm just wrapping it in a nice to use library, making sure that all of the problems you have when using Transformers.js directly are gone. And you can just use this function and get the result you want. Yeah, and coming back to my main thing that I wanted to talk about today is
Now it's official.
that I want to help people and developers especially to build stuff on this kind of things to democratize AI, because we want to use free, private, local, and open source things to build the stuff that we want, and are not restricted by any kind of provider, by any kind of company. I mean, of course, it's still important that companies provide their models as open source, as a lot of companies are doing. But the tools are there to actually train everything that we want ourselves, and we are not bound to anything. So making sure that everyone has access to this without any limitation, especially in countries where there might be not very much advanced in these kind of topics, is like very important. And the browser is something that almost everyone in every like device has. And being able to use AI just on the device you already own without buying anything yourself is very important, I think. And yeah, so if you want to check out Wandler, it's wandler.ai. And I think like this is the most expensive thing about the whole project, because AI domains, you have to buy them for 2 years. And I think it's like 200 something euro. This is the most annoying part about AI domains. But it was, I mean, it existed because no one does anything with Wandler. So this is awesome. And yeah, so if you want to connect with me, I'm usually in Nerdisco or Tim Petruski online. On my website, you find all the social networks I'm on. And oh yeah, thank you, Cursor. The broken thanks at the end. So thank you very much for your attention. And yeah.